submit. Woo! Let's go, I created the thing. What's up guys, it's Danny, and today I'm doing something I have never done before, and I am ranking every single LEGO Star Wars set from 2022. Now, I think I've purchased every single set with the exception of one, which you'll hear about, but if you don't like my rankings, by all means, go ahead and make your own using tiermaker.com, and hopefully this video isn't a tier maker with the way that I rank these sets. Without further ado, or any more bad jokes, let's go over the rankings. At the top, we have, because that just seems like the most fitting possible ranking title. Next is True Jedi, because when you hear this sound, this is how it should feel by owning one of these LEGO sets. Next one is which is cut off by one letter. Really? You couldn't just put that on the okay, whatever. Anyways, that's like good, but not great. It didn't quite make it into your cart, but it's not a bad set by any means. Next one is maybe kind of a bad set, or for certain reasons, it's just overrated. Maybe because the set designers created the set and thought it was gonna do better than it did, but it's just not really one that you're interested in at all. Or not you, it's about me. This is my rankings. And lastly, just absolute Rancor food. I mean, look at this thing. He's starving. He needs at least one set. It also means that it's not like a terrible set, but if we had to choose one, and by the way, we have to choose one. Our Rancor is hungry. So we're gonna feed him at least one set today, but maybe multiple. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna knock out these rankings. And don't forget to knock out the like button and subscribe for lots more LEGO Star Wars news, building reviews, and shopping hauls, and apparently ranking videos. Because if you guys like this, I'll do more. It's very violent. Starting off with the January 1st releases, the Hoth AT-ST, which was honestly not a bad set. Never had a Hoth AT-ST before, and it came with that new snow speckled Chewie. So this one's like good, but I don't feel particularly special about owning it. So it's just gonna go in that mid tier. We're say almost there for this one. Snowtrooper Battle Pack, kind of along the same lines, but something that definitely makes it true Jedi is the fact that when you get 10 or more of them, you can fill an entire UCS AT-AT, which had that released 2 months later would be going in the top tier unlimited power, but it did not release in the year 2022, and we're only left with the filler packs. But getting a bunch of these filler packs is literally the definition of true Jedi. Speaking of Jedi, we have the Dark Trooper Attack, which, guys, this set is already a really good $30 playset as is. Could you pick a better scene from The Mandalorian Season 2? I don't think so. This set comes with 4 Dark Troopers, which made those Dark Trooper guys go down in value a ton because they previously only came in the Imperial Light Cruiser. But hey, for people that wanted Dark Troopers and modded the heck out of the set like myself, if you haven't already, go check out my video of my my cool mock thing that I built. This is going in True Jedi as well. It's literally got Luke Skywalker. He's the epitome of a true Jedi. The Rebels attack, I feel like, was necessary with this winter wave. Having a UCS AT-AT, a Hoth AT-ST, and a Snowtrooper Battle Pack, you definitely needed some Rebels to go against, but at the same time, it's just an accessory pack. The build is not really that great, and it's just more Hoth Rebels, so I'm gonna put that in the overrated category. What is not overrated, though, is how difficult it is to get your hands on a Clone Trooper command station. And yeah, this has a similar issue to the Dark Trooper attack, where it took the value of that yellow clone and just dropped it all the way rock bottom. He's worth like $4 now. Now, the fact that these are so difficult to get makes it feel like they're a little bit overrated, but at the same time, they're P1 clones, and you get 2 regs and the yellow guy who can double as whatever you want him to, I guess. So we're gonna put that in almost there. The reason this isn't true Jedi is because of the controversy of that yellow clone and the fact that they're so difficult to get, and you can only buy 5 when they are in stock online. So if we took some of those restrictors away, that set might even be unlimited power. The Hoth AT-ST Polybag. This set right here is Rancor food. Up next is Blue Milk Luke, and if you guys haven't caught on to the trend yet, Farm Boy Luke is one of the most overmade minifigures over the last 10 years. And the only exclusive piece to this poly bag, which you could only get if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition of the Skywalker Saga, was the blue milk piece. So there's nothing exclusive other than his face with the blue milk on it and the piece that he's actually holding with the blue milk bantha. So for that reason, this is so overrated. Something that just came out earlier this year and is already on the third-party market for over $100. I have also sold one for over $100 on the aftermarket, so. Next up is a microfighter. Is this Razor Crest microfighter? Let's go ahead and check on that Rancor. Now we have the April releases with the 3 helmet sets, and this is something that I did not think LEGO could do. They made a Rebel X-Wing pilot helmet, aka the Red 5 helmet, Luke's helmet. That's impossible! And I couldn't believe that this was going to look good, and it turns out it's one of my favorite helmets now. So this is going in true Jedi. This helmet completely defied my expectations. It's the only Rebel helmet out of all of these otherwise Imperial / Bounty Hunter helmets, and I really hope we do get another Rebel helmet in the mix to, you know, switch things up a bit. With all of the decisions for different helmets that could have been made though, I can't believe they went with the Dark Trooper, considering we have so many different clones and different prequel era sets that could have been made, and clones. Don't worry guys, we're getting those in 2023. As for the Dark Trooper though, this was seriously hated on, and for that reason I kind of like reviewed it a little bit higher than what people were saying, but then at the end of the day it just doesn't really go with the other helmets. The neck connection is pretty weak, and it definitely does look a little bit too short. So I'm just gonna put this in the almost there category because I don't think it's bad by any means. It's just a weird choice. As for the Mandalorian helmet, this one I think looked pretty good, but there was a lot of expectation that it would be shiny, but it was not. In fact, there's very little shininess to it. So this one's gonna be a little bit overrated because a lot of people love Mandalorian and they were gonna just throw their money at buying this set, and then it turned out to not be quite as good because it, you know, it bows out, which it should be straight, whereas Boba's is straight and his should bow out. So this is the confusing things. They just got some things backwards. Now the cheek things, they're so cool. I love the cheek things. I mean, look at this thing. I'm clearly a Mandalorian fan. Speaking of Mandalorian, season 2.5, I mean the Book of Boba, the N1 Starfighter, contrary to common belief, I suppose, is actually from the Book of Boba, even though Boba's nowhere to be seen in this set, nor the episode itself. Like a bantha. So we have the N1 Starfighter, which is a fantastic choice. It was definitely rushed. I don't care what anyone says. This came out sooner than we would have expected for normal products that come after shows. I don't know if Lucasfilm gave them this intel early and they've been working on the set. If they had been working on the set for the full length of time that designers normally get, which whatever that is, I would have expected it to look a little better. The ship is super sleek in the show, and it just doesn't do it for me in the set form. It just doesn't look as good, and the connection points are a little bit weak with the engines and the tailpiece, so I'm putting this again in the overrated category, which, guys, don't get me wrong, I love Mandalorian and Mando in the Book of Boba, but up next, we have another Book of Boba set, which is Boba's throne room, which also caused a bit of an uproar because it didn't include the top of the temple. It was literally called Jabba's palace, so that was to be expected, but this is the throne room, and I think it excels on being a throne room. There's just no top, and it seems a little unfinished, so I'm putting this in the almost there. I think it's a perfectly good playset, but if you're somebody that wants to display it, it doesn't really have like shelf presence because it looks unfinished, so it's just a playset. I think it's almost there. I don't think it's bad. And we get some new minifigures in there too, which is kind of nice. And now we have our diorama sets, which as an 18+ collector, I think are pretty okay. This first one does not include any minifigures, and they upped the price on it on top of its already overly expensive price tag. This is going in Rancor food. The greebling is cool and stuff, but if I weren't like a collector, this is probably not one that I would have purchased, but I can see other people having purchased this and just absolutely love it as a desk display, something that you could have in your office, but I just don't like it, and this is my list at the end of the day, so putting her in the pit. Now this other one, on the other hand, this Dagobah Jedi Training, is everything and more that I would have hoped for in a diorama set. It looks like something from a video game where you get like the level select and this is the beautiful scene that it shows you for the level that you're about to play. I mean, you've got the height, you've got the color, and it feels like a real scene created like a 3D pop-up book. Plus it includes minifigures to really help finish off the story. This is going in True Jedi. This is my favorite diorama set by far, and I think it is for a lot of other people too. Along with that, we have this set, which is absolute trash. I know a lot of people talked it up, saying the minifigure selection was a great way to get your collection started, but I don't like this set either. I think it was a weird choice, and for other people maybe more expected, and it's cool because you finally get them updated in their stormtrooper outfits and stuff. But I really don't like it. It's just brown, and the only purpose that it serves is to be the first level to my second level diorama set so I can stack them and conserve space. It's literally a trash compactor, so I'm compacting my display space. I know what you're thinking. Danny, are you gonna choose any of these as unlimited power? Well, it's unlimited power. It's gotta be a big deal, okay? We didn't really have a lot of big banger sets this year, so it's kind of hard to choose. But up next, we have a 4+ set, which is the AT-ST.
Great. We're saved.
And it comes with a new Ewok, sure, but this is still, to this day, a set that I have not purchased yet. What they think they can get away with by making it a 4+ set because it's easy to build. I mean, literally the legs are 2 pieces. Overrated. Next up, we have the Cad Bane's Justifier set, which again, a lot of people could not justify the price, but hey, it's Bad Batch. We get Cad Bane, we get Omega, and we get another Fennec Shand. Again, in a very expensive set, but nonetheless, having her in another set is nice. Gives you another choice, but still, this set is not something that many people will recognize. Another gray ship. So it doesn't really have quite that same appeal. It's a massive ship, has kind of a simple feature overall, but it's not bad. This one honestly is a bit of an enigma for me to rank, so I'm gonna put it in the almost there category, being that it was like an almost popular ship, but just hasn't made enough of a presence in the source material to really make an impact on most Star Wars fans. Up next is Obi-Wan Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter, which is like one of the only $30 sets of the year that you could purchase, this and the Dark Trooper attack. We get for the first time ever a Kamino, and so you can finally recreate this scene. Yeah, I know, it's just probably what everyone was hoping to do. So for this, I'm putting this in True Jedi. This is a must-have set in your collection. And even though there have been some better Starfighters made in the past, this is what we have today. It's the most up-to-date Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 2 minifigure.
You must be very proud.
And I just like it overall. Also, Obi-Wan Kenobi, but from the show this time, this set was probably the most hated set of the year.
When they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
Which is saying a lot. Not only did we not get the final duel scene that everyone would have much preferred, never ceases to amaze me how great things can be. This set was, I like the figures in the set, but I don't think there's any way to redeem it. I don't love the set any more now than when I bought it, and I don't love the show Kenobi any more now than when I first watched it, so. But we still have 9 more sets to cover. So up next is BD-1 from Jedi Fallen Order, which, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the fact that we got this buildable figure, but I wasn't really all that impressed with it. The head is just super wobbly, and the legs just like, they feel a little bit awkward, kind of like too large. Obviously, you can't make them smaller because the thing would fall over, but the feet are huge. So this is gonna be a little bit overrated for me, unfortunately. Like, if I could only purchase a couple of sets for the 2022 lineup, I'd have to prioritize, and that one would not make the top tier list for me. I love Jedi Fallen Order, and I can't wait for the next game, which is Jedi Survivor, but I don't know if LEGO's gonna make any sets based off that. Like, yes, we got the droid mold, which also came in the other N1 Starfighter set, but where is Cal Kestis? We need a Cal Kestis minifigure, and this is not getting us any closer to it. So for that reason, I think it's a little bit overrated. No, I'm gonna actually move it. I'm gonna put it to almost there, because I do think it's a really cool set. It does have good shelf presence, and he's good company for Grogu. And this is where the fun begins with the rest of the fall wave here. We have the Sith Inquisitor transport ship, which I highly reviewed. This comes with 3 Inquisitors and that new Obi-Wan Kenobi with his mullet hairpiece. Let's go. Also, those Inquisitor lightsaber blades are still super expensive, which I was shocked by. I thought this set would make them decrease in value, but nonetheless, the design on the ship is fantastic. I can't believe I'm doing this, but this is going in unlimited power because, like, there's nothing that you can hate about the set. Yeah, do I like the old Grand Inquisitor more? Sure. But the fact that this one is new, it's relevant, it's on shelves now, you can get it for retail price and maybe even cheaper than that depending on how people are selling it. This set is legit. It has the best curvatures, and the way things line up is so satisfying. There's no set that is better in terms of the way that this thing comes together in such a satisfying way. And following that is by far the most anticipated set of 2022, but it definitely had some fatal flaws by first introducing the new helmet holes and having a kind of wonky face print on the new helmets. I'm putting this in True Jedi, but then at the same time, guys, it's 2022. To have and own an ATTE and a Commander Cody, a Phase 2 Commander Cody in 2022 is pretty epic. So I am moving this up because this is the way I truly feel about it. Yeah, I know the helmet holes, yeah, I know the helmet prints aren't great, but dude, this is such a cool set and you should definitely prioritize it for 2022. Up next is a rather underrated set in my opinion. Ambush on Ferrex from the new Andor show is actually a really good set. It's a very good play set. I don't really like the speeder bike in it at all, so for that reason I feel like it's a little overpriced, but this is for sure going in almost there. This would basically be True Jedi, but as the Andor show has only just started, I don't have quite the same like nostalgic or attachment to it yet, so maybe as the show finishes I would maybe rank this True Jedi, but right now we're getting almost there. I think this is actually a pretty good set and a little bit underrated. And now as things are really thinning out, we have the Advent calendar, which if I wasn't a Lego Star Wars collector, I would probably not even mess with, but I get it. It is a good way to get some figures for pretty cheap. Unless you're really doing the whole Advent calendar countdown thing, I don't think this is something that needs to make the list, and I'd probably wait until after Christmas to get it on sale if you really want that Darth Vader torso. I'm gonna put this in almost there. It could be better. I feel like Advent calendars could always be better. I don't know of a perfect Advent calendar, but go ahead and let me know in the comments below what your favorite Advent calendar is if you have one. Now this next one is the gift with purchase when you purchased Luke's land speeder, and this was an interesting choice because it's a kitchen. Who wants a kitchen in their Lego Star Wars collection? Well, maybe you do. And it's the first time we've ever gotten Aunt Beru as a minifigure, which consequentially made Owen Lars increase in value by a ton. So if you had that, that's great for you. I don't have an Owen Lars minifigure though, so it's kind of sad. Aunt Beru's all alone. This one, I feel like it's a cool thing to have, but not really. On the other hand, if you bought Luke's land speeder, then you're crazy because that set has been so overmade. I really don't think there's that many special things about the set other than the fact you get a really cool C-3PO with leg printing and arm printing for the first time ever. That was literally like the push that got people like me to buy the set, because otherwise having a Luke's land speeder, a UCS version, to just, you know, sit on my shelf. I mean, really, like, it doesn't tilt up or anything, so it takes up a lot of space, and it's not minifigure scale. In fact, the play scale version is minifigure scale. And look, I recently saw this animation from Lego, and it shows the Jawas like rebuilding Luke a land speeder, which they would never do because they're selfish little, but for some reason they built him an even bigger land speeder after he acts like a punk teenager and drives in front of their sandcrawler. Anyways, as you can see, the thing is massive and it just doesn't really make sense. And there's so many, like the helmets, other choices for UCS models that could have prioritized over the Luke's land speeder. The designers just love the original trilogy, and so that's why we got it. So I'm putting it in overrated, not because it was overrated by the fans, but maybe overrated in its popularity among how the designers perceived the fan base. So now we're down to the final two sets here, and this Republic fighter tank with 187th clones is such an interesting choice. Now the build itself is not great. I don't think there's any way to get around those front three pieces that just kind of ruin the set. Some more smaller pieces in there to help shape things out would have done wonders, but getting an arm printed Mace Windu in 3 187th clones is kind of sick, so I can't pass this one up. Yes, it's $40, just you wait, it will go on sale. And this is definitely gonna be a set that sells better, I would say, than the AAT from last year with the 332nd Ahsoka clone, just because you get 3 clones in the set. And it's really not all that bad. I know there's modifications that you can do to it to make it a lot cooler looking set. If you're not like a purist and you're looking to like do some army building or even turn it into a mock or something, there's definitely good pieces there. But the figures are really what makes this set so good and why I feel like this. And finally, the last set, which was only just revealed, or I should say leaked. It wasn't even revealed officially yet, but we all knew this was coming, the $600 UCS Razor Crest, and it looks just as fabulous as we thought it would. For that reason, how can this not be unlimited power, guys? Finally, my True Mandalorian fangirl can finally come out. I am excited about the UCS Razor Crest. Unfortunately, it is another large gray ship to go with my other 3 very large gray ships down in my room, but nonetheless, I'm excited about it. If we're gonna have one, it has to be now, because if we wait any longer, it'd be weird. It's already kind of weird. The ship was destroyed, but I think will forever be a very special place in people's hearts that we're reconnected with Star Wars thanks to The Mandalorian. And that is gonna do it for every single Lego Star Wars set that has come out in 2022, ranked according to just how I feel about them overall. I can't believe that it's already the end of the year. We only have this one set has yet to be officially revealed, and then we're going on to 2023 stuff. But let me know down in the comments below how you would rank these things differently, and if you want to see more stuff like this in the future. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Happy building.